Have you ever wondered why, throughout history, there has always been a profession dedicated to selling belief, faith, and superstition? This is a curious question, one that speaks volumes about the human condition and our deep-seated yearning for meaning. Let's venture back in time to the dawn of civilization. The Egyptians, the Romans, the Greeks, all of these societies were marked by a profound reverence for the spiritual realm. You see, priests, oracles, soothsayers, they were not mere entertainers or charlatans. They held significant roles in society, becoming intermediaries between humans and the divine, offering guidance, interpreting omens, and providing reassurance in the face of the unknown. But why was this so? Why did these ancient societies place such great importance on these purveyors of faith? The answer perhaps lies in our innate human curiosity and our inherent fear of the unknown. We yearn for answers, for explanations to the mysteries of life and death, the universe, our very existence. This curiosity, coupled with our fear, creates a potent mix that gives rise to a desire for the supernatural, for something beyond the tangible and the mundane. And so, the priests and oracles of old capitalized on this. They offered people a sense of comfort, of control, in a world that was often harsh and unpredictable. They sold faith, hope, and belief, commodities that were and still are in high demand. And in doing so, they carved out a niche for themselves, a profession that would stand the test of time. This is not to say that all who practice this profession are manipulative or deceitful. Many sincerely believe in their faith and the comfort it can bring to others. Nonetheless, the existence of this profession speaks to a universal human trait, the desire for meaning and understanding in a world that often seems chaotic and incomprehensible. From the ancient times to the Middle Ages, the profession of selling faith evolved but never disappeared. It simply adapted to the changing times, reflecting the shifting beliefs and attitudes of society, a testament to our enduring need for belief, hope, and a connection to the unknown. As we moved into the Middle Ages, the profession of selling faith took a new form. The Church, which was a dominant force during this period, began to sell indulgences, a kind of spiritual insurance, if you will. This was a way for people to buy their way out of sins, a fast track to heaven, bypassing the adverse consequences of their actions. This commodification of faith was a lucrative business, and it was not without its critics. In fact, it led to the rise of different sects and the schism within the Church itself. But let's not forget, the Middle Ages were also a time of superstition and fear. Fear of the unknown, the unseen, the unexplainable. And who better to turn to in times of fear than those who claim to have all the answers, who promise salvation and protection? This fear, this desire for answers, for reassurance, was a fertile ground for the profession of selling faith and superstition. Then came the Age of Enlightenment, a period marked by a shift towards science and reason. You'd think that this would be the end of the road for faith peddlers, wouldn't you? But no, the profession of selling faith adapted, it evolved. It found a way to coexist with science and reason. The Enlightenment did not do away with faith, instead it redefined it. Faith and superstition were no longer seen as antithetical to reason, but as a complement to it. This allowed for the emergence of deism, a belief in a supreme being who, after creating the universe, did not interfere in its operations. Deists used reason and nature rather than revelation and dogma to justify their beliefs. So, despite the rise of science and reason, the profession of selling faith found its place. It evolved to accommodate the new age, the new thinking. It continued to offer answers, solace, and a sense of belonging in an increasingly complex world. Even with the advent of science and reason, the profession of selling faith endured, adapting to the new age. In the modern era, the profession of selling faith has taken on a more refined and sophisticated form. Today we see the rise of new age spiritual leaders, televangelists, and self-help gurus who have mastered the art of selling belief and faith. These individuals, often equipped with charisma and an uncanny ability to connect with people, have a knack for tapping into our deepest insecurities and aspirations. They offer us hope, purpose, and a sense of belonging in an increasingly complex world. With the advent of technology, these practices have proliferated at a staggering pace. The internet and social media platforms have given these practitioners a global reach that was unimaginable in earlier times. They can broadcast their messages to millions of people in an instant, and their followers can interact with them in real time, fostering a sense of intimacy and connection. Televangelists, for instance, host grand televised sermons, leveraging the power of mass media to reach and influence vast audiences. They offer solace, salvation, and often a direct line to the divine, all from the comfort of one's living room. Then we have self-help gurus, who have asserted themselves as authorities on personal development and self-improvement. They sell not just a belief system, but also a lifestyle, a roadmap to a better, happier, more successful self. New Age spiritual leaders, on the other hand, offer a buffet of beliefs, cherry-picking elements from various religious and philosophical traditions to create a customizable spiritual experience. They cater to those who seek spiritual fulfillment outside the confines of organized religion. All these practitioners, despite their different approaches, are essentially selling belief, faith, or superstition. They offer a solution, a way out, a path to follow. They promise happiness, fulfillment, or enlightenment in exchange for our time, our devotion, and often, our money. In our current age, selling belief, faith, and superstition is as prevalent as ever, just under different guises. We may have swapped the oracle for the televangelist, the shaman for the self-help guru, the priestess for the New Age spiritual leader, but the trade remains the same. The profession endures, as does our collective desire for meaning, purpose, and a sense of belonging. But why, despite the evolution of society and knowledge, do people still fall for these practices? This question takes us into the fascinating realm of human psychology. Our minds are wired to seek patterns, to make connections where there may not be any. This pattern-seeking behavior is one of the reasons we are drawn to beliefs and superstitions. We have a deep-seated need to make sense of the world around us, to find meaning in the seemingly random events of life. Superstitions and faiths offer us a framework, a narrative that helps us understand and navigate our existence. Then there's the fear of death, a fundamental human anxiety. The idea of ceasing to exist is a terrifying one, and so we grasp at beliefs that promise us immortality, an afterlife, or reincarnation. These beliefs comfort us, they help us cope with the inevitable reality of our mortality. And let's not forget our primal need for community, for belonging. Beliefs, faiths, and even superstitions often come with a group of like-minded individuals, a community that shares the same rituals, the same worldview. This sense of belonging is incredibly powerful. It validates our beliefs and makes us feel less alone in our existential journey. So, when we talk about the profession of selling belief, faith, and superstition, we're not just talking about gullible individuals being duped. We're talking about something much deeper, a complex interplay of psychological needs and fears. The sellers of these beliefs are simply tapping into these primal human needs, offering comfort, meaning, and community. And let's not forget the power of cognitive biases, our tendency to favor information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs and disregard information that challenges them. Cognitive biases can make us susceptible to belief systems that may not be grounded in empirical evidence or logical reasoning. In conclusion, it's not just about deception or gullibility. Our human psychology plays a crucial role in our susceptibility to these practices. So, as we have seen, the profession of selling belief, faith, and superstition has been and continues to be a constant throughout history. From the dawn of civilization, through the Middle Ages and the Age of Enlightenment, and into the modern and contemporary era, this profession has adapted and evolved to fit the times. But why is this so? The answer lies not in the profession itself, but in the human psyche. We've explored the psychological reasons behind belief. The human brain is wired to seek patterns and connections, to make sense of the world around us. This is a survival instinct, a way to predict and prepare for the future. Belief systems, faith, and even superstitions often provide a framework for understanding the world, offering explanations where none are readily available. Moreover, belief systems cater to our innate need for social connection and community. They create a sense of belonging, of being part of something larger than ourselves. They provide comfort and solace in times of uncertainty and distress. They offer hope and promise a better future, feeding into our inherent optimism bias. These factors combined make the profession of selling belief, faith, and superstition a resilient and enduring one. Its practitioners adapt to the shifting societal landscapes, catering to the evolving needs and desires of the people. They harness the power of storytelling, the allure of mystery, and the promise of salvation to captivate their audience. In the digital age, this profession has found new avenues and platforms, reaching a global audience like never before. Yet, the underlying principles remain the same. The profession continues to thrive because it taps into our fundamental human needs and desires, offering something that science and rationality often cannot: a sense of purpose, meaning, and connection. Despite the evolution of society and knowledge, the profession of selling faith endures, serving as a mirror to our human need for belief and belonging.